termite mound.
Okay.
They also call it an ant hill, some other people. So a termite mound is one of those houses, big houses developed by the well sophisticated architectures. Tiny little insects. They built this thing big, and they use their saliva and urine and droppings in order to harden the outer layer of this house. So it can rain 80%. The rain is not going to dissolve it. It's very much hard. The social structure of this animal staying in here is called a caste. A caste is a social structure whereby you have got different departments. In fact, there is a division of labor. You have got the workers, you have got the soldiers, you have got the king, you have got the queen, and you've got the reproductives. What are the reproductives? The reproductives are those that you see during the rainy season, leaving these, going to introduce their own colonies. So inside here, we have got the king and the queen who are residing by the royal chamber. A royal chamber is a highly respected area in here where the senior authorities are staying in. So the temperature inside here, it can be 36 to 37 degrees Celsius.
Oh.
And if you look at that temperature, amount of temperature like that is equivalent to the normal body temperature. A termite mound, it can be a very dangerous area for the snakes because the snakes, they are ectothermic, which means they cannot regulate their own body heat in order to survive against cold. They depend on radiant energy or energy from the sun for their survival. And if not, they will come and use these areas which are too warm for them to enjoy the warm temperature inside. So a termite mound, if you go down there and try to check what's happening, you will find that the male and the female, which is those ones that you normally see following each other after heavy rains. After rains, you will see the two following each other, wingless. Those two, they go and find a nice hole, hide in there, and that is the beginning of every termite mound. Each one of them has got its own scent. So the termite mound who are staying here, their body scent is not the same as the one from next door. When the termite from next door coming here to visit, the internal termites original from this termite mound will pick it up that we have got a visitor. That is one of their safety measures. When something goes in, they are going to detect it with immediate effect. That is why during the olden days, the elderly people used to use snuff in order to get them out, because when you put snuff on these grasses, you put them in, they are going to pick it up and react, and they will come and fight and bite the stick, and that is how they will get hold of them. That is how they will take them out. So the termites have got two types of soldiers. One is called the mandibular soldiers. These termites fight makers of their mandibular parts. And then they have got the nursuit soldiers. Nursuit soldiers are those termites which normally fight makers of a chemical defense. If you try to tease them, they will secrete the fluid from their frontal gland. A frontal gland is situated some here. They spray water. That water is a chemical, and that chemical can kill the ants. Ants is one of their enemies. Who is the biggest enemy of the termite mound? Is the artifact. The artifact has got very well designed claws where they can be able to dig this. They can be able to dig 6 meters hole down in less than 15 minutes time.
Oh.
And they will go in there and eat 400,000 to 500,000 termites at the same time. They don't even digest them. The artifact will swallow the termites alive. They have got a special space in the stomach, which is called a pyloric space, where they are going to kill these termite mounds. They will grind them inside. So the diet consisting the artifact is too small. They only concentrate on ants as well as the termites. So they don't eat anything else. That is why artifact is termed a mimicophagy. A mimicophagy species is a species which has got a very specialized diet. So they have got those small insects to eat only. So the termites is the only ones which have started this what is called a suicide bombing. The old workers in here, as they are getting old, they developed kind of a sticky glue inside their bodies. When there is a rival, sometimes they can decide to burst. When they burst, the sticky glue will then attach the rivals, and that is how they are going to save the rest. If there is a fight outside as well, they are going to give instructions. They will say, 2,500 soldiers, go out and protect us. When these 2,500 soldiers are busy fighting outside, they are going to send a group of workers, go and close the tunnels. Let's donate 2,500 and protect everybody. In other words, here, because you are born a soldier, you're not like us who normally signs indemnity forms and everything, and when there's a war, you can resign. Here you don't resign. When you are a soldier, you are a soldier. And the termites are so too much amniotic, which means they grow, and again they still have the larval features. So they can be able to go back to some of the structures when they're old. When this termite mound is affected by a damage, you might find that a lot of workers has been eaten, which means who is going to recover the termite mound now? You will see workers, some of them can change and go back to the other previous forms when they are already grown up. So these insects are very much well gifted. And you see amongst the soldiers, they've got the major soldiers, those big ones which normally fight by the mandibles. When these two mandibles are fighting, they lose a lot of energy. The workers must have to be somewhere close by in order to give them food so that they can eat and carry on fighting. If they don't give them food to eat, then they are not going to have power to fight. They will die. And you will see some of the small ones with the yellow heads. Those are the ones responsible of the traffic. Inside here, there's different routes, and they also have the cul-de-sac. They can confuse their predators very easily. So those ones are the ones that when they pick up a vibration on the ground, they must give instruction and channel the traffic inside so that they can hide by the hiding places. These insects, they have got a big farm in here. They are farming fungus. Fungus is what they eat. If you dig here, you will see a lot of fungus, and that is what they eat. The king and the queen, they mate, and after mating, the queen is not going to fertilize all the semen which came from the male during that kind of a mating. She will put some of this fluid somewhere by the abdomen at a special space so that if the king dies when she is inside there, by herself, she can be able to reproduce without having mating again. So you might find that the king died 2 years ago, but she's still laying eggs because she will mate now and store a lot of sperm so that she can just, every time when there's a problem, she must be able to check and read and do census and see if there's more workers and less soldiers. Then she must balance. During her next time of reproduction, she must be able to balance all the structures left. So life in here is very much amazing.
Mikosi. And then, what are the importance of termites in the environment?
The importance of termites by this environment is the same as the ones for the dung beetles. When the termites are busy eradicating and eating the unwanted plant material and sometimes coming into our houses and eat the headboards and furnitures, is when they are facilitating a nutrient cycle. These termites, they go and collect everything from our homes which has been taken from the wild to come and again fertilize the soil. They know even if you put varnish or anything else, they will come and smell it. They will know that this belongs to the bush. We are taking everything that has been taken from the bush back to the bush. That is what they do. Yeah. So that is their mandate. Their mandate is nutrient cycle. These insects, if they were to conduct a land claim, I can promise you they were going to chase us because each one of them has got millions of termites in here. And imagine a termite which is located here, if you calculate the population inside, it's more than the population of Kavambe people in the village. And it's even maybe greater than Kavambe and other adjacent communities. So we have got millions in here. So if they were to conduct a land claim, they were going to chase us.
Yeah. So there are termites inside there.
Yeah, this is an active termite. They are termites, that's why it's not open. But those abandoned one or where maybe the king and the queen died and the predators ate a lot is when you will find the animals such as snakes and the mongoose and the other animals such as hyenas utilizing this in order to hide their babies.
Also, so this will have the very small holes.
Yeah, this will have the small holes inside, but because it's dry season, you are not going to see any movement here. The termites by the dry season, they go down underneath in order to prevent the cold weather. If you look here, there is nothing growing on top of this termite mound, and this has been done deliberately. It's like what is called antibiosis. Antibiosis is the prevention of other species to grow under the trees by other trees. So they use the outer part of this termite mound as a thermometer in order to detect the temperature of the surrounding. And again, they use the outer layer as a solar in order to enjoy the warmth. The sun, when it's hitting here, they are enjoying inside, because some of them, they have never been outside because they are very much sensitive to the sun. The dark ones on their skin is the ones that are working the outside operations because they are used and adapted to the sunbathing.
And